Welcome to MediocreGamers.com. Deck building. We are going to be making a deck for L5R. Looks like we're going to be doing Dragon. Haven't figured out how we're going to splash it, but what I'm going to show you is how to set up for building a deck in Tabletop Simulator. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit single player and just custom. Don't care about that stuff. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. And then delete this stuff. There we go. So now we have a blank table. And then if you have the L5R on there, you can just normal click on the little three dots and go to expand. And this will show you all the assets that are in that program. So for this one, you have your bags. And then you can just move them up here. Okay, move these down a little bit. And then what you'll do is you'll grab the stronghold bag. Of course, if you can get rid of the hands in there, that's good too. Yeah, let's do that. So to get rid of the hands, options, menu, nope, it is under options. I know it's under here somewhere. We need the toolbars. Now, normal, menu, UI, tools. You should have that automatically. Then you can go over to zones, hands, and just click and get rid of them. Still might want to keep just one for you. And you're just going to set up all your provinces. It's going to look similar to this. I actually have one pre-saved. So once you get all your cards out, it's going to look like this. So you have your clans up here, your neutral cards here, and your roles here. So we're going to be doing Dragon today. So the first thing that I do, grab my stronghold, grab the Dragon province, and grab the other provinces. I don't remember what Dragon got for their keeper, so I would look that up. But I'm just going to do a keeper because it really doesn't matter which keeper you use. But I know they got a keeper. Alright, so with the keeper, all it does is allow me to add 3 more influence in the deck, so it's not going to affect my province here. Then I set up, looks like water, another void, I know that's fire. That's fire, air, earth, earth. No. And then looks like Dragon uses a fire one. So now we get to choose one from each of these. I personally am, I love this card. I think it is way more powerful than people give it credit for. Now that's not saying that the Pilgrimage is not a good card. I mean, it's got 5 strength. If you're on the defensive, this is an awesome province. If you're playing Crab, this is probably the province you want to play. But shameful display with our characters, which have decent glory. It's just too good to pass up. Now, this card is actually very good. You know, most of the time people are going to have 4 to 6 cards in their hand, so this is going to get rid of 2 cards. Sometimes they have more. You could go Night Raid, but it has very similar effects. But if they're playing, you know, if they're just swinging in with 1 to test it, it's not. This is going to be better. This card is the hard card. It's like Meditations of the Tao on the Tao is an incredibly strong card. I would say it's probably my second favorite province. So it really comes down to, do I want the hand destruction or do I want the fate destruction? I think for Dragon, I am going to choose the hand destruction. So then I will put that there. So now the next question is, do we want to change rings or do we want to change conflict types? The thing with Dragon is they're well-rounded in both political and military. So I'm going to choose change the conflict type. Because you never know. They could swing in with heavy military, have very low political. This will allow you to win the challenge. This is a great card because it allows you to put the ring back and you to use the ring. But I think in this instance, I would go with Rally to the Cause. Okay, card drawing or Fate. Tough choice. Normally I do go with the Fate. But Dragon's very good at having money. So that's a real tough choice. Now, card draw is good. It would save you an honor. But I think we will go with the money. And comes down to these last two. This really is preference. I'm going to take the political one because I find that I play against more Scorpion, Crane, Phoenix decks that are going heavy political versus going against Unicorn, Dragon, Crane, or Crab. Still a tough choice. Either there's no wrong answer here. It's just purely preference right now. Okay, so now that I have this set up, what I would do, flip it face down, and then I'm going to decide which one I want to put on my stronghold. Well, I want all these effects, so what I would do is group, flip, and this is the one that I'm going to put under my stronghold. So it's going to be the top one and top one. So now we have our setup deck. Next point is going to be going over Dynasty. And this is how I do my Dynasty. You know, everybody could do it differently. Tabletop doesn't have a deck builder, so this is how you would probably do it if you're sitting at your local card shop. I'm going to organize these by fate cost. So 1 fate cost, 1 fate cost, 2 fate cost, 2 fate cost, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, holding. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn them all to 3s. So you'll hover over a card, you'll hit Control C, then Control V, Control V. Hover over a card, hit Control C, V, V. C, V, V. Now I'm going to grab my, and I'm going to put them on the off side of these. Now we are going keeper, So I will grab the keeper card. It is a 2 cost. And we'll do the same. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is, what is Dragon good at? Well, let's look at some of these Dragon cards. So you have the champion. He's 5 Fate for 5/5 with 3 Glory. Means he's pretty solid all-round character. If he gets honored, he's now an 8/8. If he gets dishonored, he's a 2/2. Let's look at his keywords. Bushi, Shigura, champion. So he's good in military, and he does have the mage keyword there. Let's look at his action. Action. Choose a triggered ability printed on another character. So that's the cost. The effect is this character gains that ability until the end of the phase. Max 1 per round. So let's really think about this. Now he can take abilities from your opponent's characters, but you also want to think about what can he take from our side. If you get him out, are there any abilities that are going to be super strong if he had them? I really like this champion just because of the well-roundedness of this champion. So let's look at a couple abilities. This is a triggered ability. Anything with a bold text is a triggered ability. So if he had this champion, or if he had this ability, what would he be like? After you attach a weapon attachment to this character, which is the cost, ready this character. Limit twice per round. That's pretty solid. Being able to stand your champion, pretty good. Let's take a look at this character. While this character is attacking, spend 1 fate to an unclaimed ring. Choose a monk character or character with a monk attachment and ready that character. That really doesn't affect him that much because you would already have this character in play if you were playing this character. So, not super great. This ability, let's take a look. Yes, this ability is great. Reaction. After an opponent selects a ring with fate on it, place 1 fate on this character. That is bonkers good. If, say, you're looking at the side of your board and you're seeing a couple rings with multiple fates on them, taking this reaction early could be extremely huge because it could allow your champion to stay around even if he's low on fate. That's a great ability. Okay, let's look at the next one. Action. While this character is participating in a political conflict, and let's remember, our character is, both good sides. Spend a fate to an unclaimed ring. Look at an opponent's hand. Choose one of those cards and discard it. That's not a bad ability, but our champion having it isn't that, it doesn't affect the champion as much. So let's look at our duelist here. Action. While this character is participating in a conflict, choose a participating character controlled by an opponent. So you do choose the character. Challenge that character to a military duel. If the loser of the duel has no fate on it, discard it. Otherwise, remove 1 fate. Now this is a great action to take for your champion. First off, your champion can be all the way up to an 8/8. That's huge. Second, your champion's generally going to have fate on him because you're going to load him up with some fate. So if you do happen to lose, it's not as detrimental of, say, playing this character and playing him out for 4. If you lose, he's pretty much dead that turn. Well, let's keep going. This character gets +1/+1 for each fate on each unclaimed ring. Now, I'll be honest. When I first saw this card, I did not like it. I was like, most of the time it's going to be a 3/3. They're probably going to take a ring right off the bat that has fate on it, so it's a 2/2 for 2. It has no glory. I generally don't play the monk variant, so I was not impressed with this card. But if you watch back from our previous video here on Mediocre Gamers, you'll see that I played a dragon deck, which I did not have this card in there, but the rings had tons of fate. There were times when this character could have been a 6/6 for 2. That's seriously good. So, but not an ability we can take because it is not a triggered ability. Well, let's look at our adept here. It's 2 for 2/1. Let's look at his ability. While this character is participating in a conflict, bow a friendly attachment on it. Choose a participating character without attachments and bow that character. Now, any other clan, this card would be okay. In Dragon, this card is very good. Dragon is one of the few clans that have attachment removal. But for the most part, you're probably not going to bow their champion with this card. But this card will get some other bows. I do like it. I think it's a very good card. It's not really an ability that we want to steal with our champion, but still a good ability. Unfortunately, not a triggered ability, so not an ability we can steal. While this character is attacking alone, your opponent cannot declare more than one defender. Super solid card, but nothing we can steal. Now, let's look at our Swordsmith. Action: search the top 5 cards of your conflict deck for an attachment, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Shuffle. This card is bonkers insane for Dragon. I mean, this is a incredibly good card for them. But probably not the action we want to take with our hero, since it doesn't really affect the hero. Let's take a look at this one. 1 for 3/3. Limited. No more than one copy can be played by each. No more than one limited card can be played by each character each round. You cannot place fate on this character when you play it from your province. So, nothing we can steal. Still a decent card. 1 for a 3/3. Even if it dies at the end of the turn, that's not bad. And it's a Shimigami, or Shingenji. So, yeah, not bad at all. Initiate Monk does have an action. While this character is attacking, spend 1 fate to an unclaimed ring. Honor this character. Now, this is an action you may want to take with your champion. This would allow you to honor your champion, giving him +3/+3. If he's got a couple attachments on him, you can tap your house card. I mean, yeah, this could make your champion a 5 or your 10/10 easy. This card's decent, and it's a decent card in general. We'll just let you look at these. Crap. Decent, but we don't need this because we have let go, and this card's terrible. In fact, I'm just going to flip that card down now. So, now that we've looked at our dragon cards, I'm not really feeling like I want to go monk, so I'm probably going to drop him. I think the rest of these cards are pretty good. Let's look over the holding. The holding is reaction. After the conflict phase begins, each opponent who controls more characters than you must choose a character he or she controls with 1 or more fate on it. Remove a fate from each of the chosen characters. It's okay. I would not complain if I saw 1. If I saw 2, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to. For the most part, I'm not a big fan of any of these holdings, but I'm not a big fan of holdings in general because honestly, they take away a character slot on your board. But let's look at the cards first. So, this is a definite yes. We're running 3 of the champion. This ability, by itself, is amazing with your champion. The card is a 4/4/3/3, so a little spendy. But he does get 2 glory, so if you do get him honored, you are looking at 4-4-5-5 with the ability to untap himself. That is a huge effect just in general. So yes, we're probably going to play 2 to 3. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting my 3s and my 2 to 3s there. Alright, let's look at our character here. I think this character is a 3 of, just because of all the fate going around on rings. This allows this character pretty much to really dictate how your opponent plays. So, you know, say the void ring's got a fate on it and none of the other rings do, and he's got 0 fate on him. So your opponent is looking at, well, I could take the void ring, I get a fate for myself, he gets a fate on his warrior, I could spend the void ring, you know, use the effect, remove a fate from another character, but now this character's around for another turn. It really makes your opponent have to think harder than they want to. I think it's a 3 of, and it's got a great ability with our champion. We're going to take a quick look here. There's a courtier. Do we have any other courtier? We do not. So we end up might having to play some of these. But that does dictate what we're looking at on our conflict deck. You know, we don't have the courtier, so that's going to be a struggle. We're going to put him there just for now. He's not as well rounded as the other 2 characters, or the other 3. He's more specialized, so we'll take a look at him later. Now let's take a look here. Also, same thing with him. Though his ability makes me want to run 3 because of his ability, which actually we're going to put it in the 2 to 3 slot. So now we come to this monk. Be honest, I did not like this monk, but I think this monk is incredibly strong. The adept is a 3 of, period. No, hands down, same thing with the prodigy, is a 3 of. And honestly, the swordsmith is also a 3 of. This monk, I do not know if I want to say it's a 3 of, although, man. Spend a fate, so it's 2 for a 3/3. It is pretty strong. And you can put it on a ring that you're going to claim, so you can get your fate right back. I think it's a 3 of. Now, I like this character. I like the fact that she's a Shingenzi. I like the fact that she's pretty much a lightning bolt. I do like this character. I'm going to put that also in the 2 to 3 area. Now, let's take a look at our keeper. Keeper comes back to life. It costs 2 to get it. Well, actually, it costs nothing to get it in play because you can play it directly. I think the keeper is a 3 of. Now, the question is, we're just going to take a quick look. So, courtier, For Shame is a damn good card. I don't think we run it in this deck. I mean, I would like to, but I don't want to put in 3 crappy cards to run 3 For Shames. Because we just don't have the carriers for it, the courtiers for it. So, that tells me what we're going to do here. So we're looking at 21 cards. So we still have 39 or 19 cards we can put in. These I'm going to put down here as maybes also. Now, 4 is a lot. but that ability is damn good. So we're going to do it. And I think that's a good choice there too. I'm going to put 2 in for now, just to see where we're at. We're at 32. He does give us the the ability to choose and discard cards out of your opponent's hand is incredibly good. So now what are we looking at? We're looking at, we got 34 cards. Means we need 6 more cards. Now the question is, do we go to the max on these ones? I don't think we do. I think we're definitely going to play 2 of those. I think I would rather have the draw card than the move. Although, no. I will take the move. So, we're looking at 38. Do we put 2 of those in? I think we can. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So, we're playing 6 holdings, 34 non-holdings. Okay. Tough choice. And playtesting will dictate if that's too many holdings. I feel like it's too many holdings. But we'll play test and we'll find out. And then what I do is I just delete these since I have the board state saved from the very beginning. I don't need to worry about deleting cards or not. So now the hardest part comes into, what do we run with it? So let's take a quick look at each one of these. What cards would help our deck? This character, while defending, she's a character that not that great. +3 military, Jade weapon, that's pretty good. That might be worth something. Watch Commander is incredibly powerful. In fact, I'd say it's probably the best attachment in the game. We do like to go attachments. But it also costs 9 to run 3 of them. Another incredibly strong attachment. And you could run 3 Watch Commanders and 3 of these since we are playing Keeper. Mountain Does Not Fall. Very strong very strong ability. Okay, so the real one would be Watch Commander and Reprieve. So we're just going to pull those out and kind of look. Now let's look at Crane. Because we're trying to figure out what we're going to splash into this deck. What grouping? Noble Sacrifice. Sacrifice a friendly honored character to choose a dishonored character, discard that card. That card is insanely good. But we're not an honoring deck, we're not a dishonoring deck. Choose a character that is defending alone, bow that character. Well, that card is incredibly powerful with our deck. We have a character that says when it's attacking, they can only choose 1 defender. So, yeah, that one's going to come out. Voice of Law. It's counterspell if you have more honored characters. It's great in Crane. Not so much in Dragon. The Perfect Gift. This card is actually really good. A lot of people are playtesting around it, debating, but from what I've played on this thing is damn good. Political Rival is strong on defense. I mean, it's not a bad card, but for 3 cost, I don't think so. Now this attachment is an interesting attachment. I like this attachment when I'm playing Crane, because I will generally attach it to their hero, their champion. Because attached character cannot be chosen as a target of an opponent's event. What this does is it stops them from doing bonsais. It stops them from doing, untap effects like Ready for Battle. It stops saves. So like the Lion save that, remove the honor token from a character and save them. So it does stop a lot of things. I don't think it is for Dragon, though. Here's an interesting one. Attached character, so long one here. Action. While this character is so the attached character gains this action, which means we could take this action onto our champion. While this character is participating in a conflict, choose a participating character controlled by an opponent. Challenge that character to a military duel. Instead of gaining honor or giving honor for the duel's bid, a player may choose and discard the required number of cards from hand. Bow the loser of the duel. That's pretty strong. Yeah, that's... The Komodo we really don't need. I mean, it's a great card. I really wish it didn't have that downside to it. That downside's actually very harmful. And the Scholar. Now, if the Scholar had an instant speed, he would be great. Unfortunately, he doesn't. So you have to get him out first. He's a courtier. We don't need him. We don't need courtiers. So that's what we're looking at. So not a lot there. Probably not going to be choosing this class, although these two cards are incredibly strong with Dragon. If I was going Seeker, I might actually choose these. Let's look at Lion. After you lose a military challenge, put this character into play from your hand. So, you don't have to pay the fate cost, but you can't add any additional fate onto him. If you've already attacked in military and they defended and you lost, he's not going to get to attack in military at all because he'll die at the end of the turn. It's okay at best. Master of Spear, 3 for 2/2. Action. While this character is attacking, your opponent must choose a participating character he or she controls. Move that character home. That's a damn good card. I mean, not gonna lie, that's a damn good card. And our champion could take that ability. That's a maybe. Let's take a look here. 1 for +1/+1. So it's okay. Okay at best. Action. Play this attachment from your conflict discard pile. Wow. That's pretty good in the fact that you're always going to have an attachment you could play. So, if you got a couple of these in your graveyard, you could stand your forecaster up a couple times with that. Well, let's take a look here. Restricted reaction. After attached character wins a conflict, gain an honor. Yeah, this card's awesome. Just straight up, period. That card's awesome. Let's take a look here. 2 for 0/0, but attach it to a bowshot character, which we have plenty. Almost all of our characters are. Attached character does not bow as a result of conflict resolution during military conflicts. So what this means is, after you win or lose a conflict, if it's a military one, instead of sending your character home tapped or bowed, he stays untapped. This card wins games. Ready for battle. After an opponent's card effect or ring effect bows a character you control, ready that card. Yeah, that's a good card. Stand your ground. When an honored character you control would leave play, instead discard that character's status token. Now this card is amazingly good, just not in Dragon. For greater good, after you break a province during a military conflict, place 1 fate on each participating bowshot character you control. Great card, just not in this deck. While you are the attacking player, choose a defending character with glory X or lower. Move that character home. X is equal... yeah. No, we have a better version of this. So, nope. But that's still 4 great cards that Lion has. Let's take a look at Phoenix. No. No. Maybe. We do have a lot of Shigenja. That's a maybe. Pacifism is a maybe. Pacifism's really sick. I just wish it didn't cost 2. Oh, man, that's a tough choice. That's a good card. And it would give us some honor gain. That is an incredibly sick card for us. And display power is probably one of the best cards in the game. So, Phoenix has a lot of good cards for Dragon also. We'll take a quick look at Scorpion. No, no. No, because we don't have Courtiers. I mean, that is decent. Calling in favors is actually pretty decent for Dragon. And the reason why I'm looking at that is because it doesn't require a courtier. Dishonor a friendly character, choose an opponent's attachment. Take control of that attachment and attach it to that character, if able. Otherwise, discard the attachment. Very strong card, being able to, I mean, just more attachment control. I don't think we need it. And honestly, I don't think we'll be playing them. Don't think we'll be playing them. I'll take a look at Unicorn. The problem with Unicorn is most of their stuff is meant for playing by themselves. Decent card. Also decent card. I'm not a fan of that style. No cavalry. No move effects other than 2 holdings. Could be decent. Amazing. Probably another one of the top 5 best cards in the game. But not that important for Dragon. Unicorn only, and pretty much Unicorn only. So yeah, there's just nothing for it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group up the cards. We're going to put them over there. Now, we're going to take a brief look at our conflict cards. Now, the one thing about this game is it seems like neutral conflict cards are some of the best cards in the game, honestly. So we're going to put these into 2 different piles here. So again, we're going to do casting cost. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, we already know we're not going to use for shame. So I'm going to get rid of that now. I know I'm not going to use that card. No, we're not going to use that. So now let's take a look here. We really got to think about what we're doing here. Now, if you notice one thing about Dragon, a lot of their cards cost 0 to 1 in their conflict deck, which is actually really strong. It allows them to play their big characters with lots of fate on them, because they don't have to worry about playing 3s and 2s. But let's just take what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, since we already have our dynasty, kind of know how we're going to play this. We're just going to take a quick look at these cards during a conflict, at the end of the conflict, characters in your opponent's home. No, don't like that. We're not playing the monk, so we're going to get rid of that. We are playing that. Yep. Weapons. Yep. Bonsai. Not going to need that. We will play court games because it does give us honor and dishonor effects. It doesn't require anything other than a political challenge, which we got to do every turn. Not a big fan of route. I don't like sending their units home, especially if those units have to have a lower military skill. So it doesn't affect things that they boost up later. If fallen in battle, it's interesting, but might be something we're interested in. Charge is pretty good. Maybe. I mean, good card, but we're not playing monk. Yeah. Yep. Yes, probably the best card in the game. Now this is an interesting card. Cost 2. I really wish this card had cost 1 and been a 0/0. Cost 2 for 1/1. One character. You may trigger each of attached characters' triggered abilities an additional time this round. So it does mean that we could stand our guy 3 times. It does mean that we can search the top 2 cards or top 10 cards of our deck for attachments. There's so many different things we can do. I think it's a decent card, but I don't know if it's a 3 of. So that'll be interesting. And this card's decent. I mean, 3 to be able to take fate. It's not the fact that your character gains fate, it's the fact that you take it from the other character. Decent card. So we're just going to go through here, delete the ones that we know we're not going to use. And we're just going to do the same thing as we did before. Now, do we have any tier 1 cards? Cards that must be in the deck? We do. I think Let Go is a tier 1 card. Hands down. I think Fury is a tier 1 card. Hands down. I think Assassinate is a tier 1 card. Probably not going to play all 3. That's dangerous. Bonsai. I think those are tier 3 cards. I would say I would only play 2 Assassinates at max. So let's group up. We got 14 here. I'm going to put 2 of each of the ancestral weapons and 2 of the non-ancestral weapons because they do cost nothing. So now we're at 22. I think this card is still very strong. Not being able to, or being sent home not tapped is huge, but still interesting. I think we have to play 2 Good Omens. I would play 2 Honestly, I probably would play 2 of these also. I like Fallen for Battle. I like Charge. We do have the Shigenji for it. I'm going to put 1 of those in there. No, if you're going to put 1, you might as well put 2. So now it gives us 10 cards to deal with from one of our factions. So, if we were going to go Phoenix, what would it look like? Well, first off, Phoenix is expensive. All of the, 2, 1, 2, it's expensive. This does give you a plus, but Dragon doesn't run as many characters. This is expensive. Good, but expensive. Solid card. And top 5 card in the game. So that's 9 influence right there. Leaves us with 4 to work with. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4. That would give us the 9. Or the, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that would give us the 13. So that's what we're looking at if we go Phoenix. Crab. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Damn, I mean, they're both good cards, but they're really not our style. We're not looking at getting honor wins, and I mean, yeah, the save is huge. Yeah, amazingly huge. I mean, another sword that gives us honor. Could almost get an honor victory just from the sword alone. An expensive card, but pretty much it's a permanent Indomitable Will. Really good. So we're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think Lion is a better choice for this deck. So, now, everybody's got a different opinion on this. I like to run 41 cards in my conflict deck. Just superstition for me. 40 cards seems to always screw up. I like running that odd number. Which gives us a choice here. We could run the third Daimos Favor. Not a bad card to choose. But I think we're going to go a little heavier on the money. It's either 2 of these or 2 of these. What are we going to have problems with? Are we going to have more problems with Scorpion? Yeah, we are. Being able to get rid of their champion's ability is effing huge. But we could just straight up, no. Yeah, I think Cloud the Mind might be the better choice, and I hate to say it. Because I do like this Monk card. I think the Monk card puts them in a situation they don't want to be in. Where Cloud the Mind they can deal with. Tough choice. This is where playtesting is going to help you out. So let's take a look here. 1 versus 3. Can we search? So we are looking at not a lot of expensive cards, so we could afford the 3. Actually, let's take a look at the new cards we added in. 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. Yeah. Most expensive cards are those 2. I think we are going to go with the 2 monks. But when I'm playtesting the deck, I will keep remembering Cloud the Mind, and I will think, if I had a Cloud the Mind, would I have won that game? So, now we have our deck. This is our deck. I do like to shuffle the decks. And now, what you're going to do is, for me, what I do is you just go to Objects, Components, Tools, Bag. And then you can change it whatever color. Dragon's green, so I'm changing it to green. I will put the cards in Conflict deck first, Dynasty deck second, then Setup deck. You can change the name. So you could go 3C for 3 core, Dragon, Lion. And then go to Save Object, and then save the deck. Now, when you go to Set Up, you're going to already have your Conflict deck, your Dynasties deck. They're going to be shuffled, but give them another shuffle. You'll take the first card off. That is your Stronghold, see? Second card is going to be the one you're going to place underneath your Stronghold. And you're going to take your 4 cards. You can shuffle, 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 and just put them out wherever you want. And then flip your Seeker. And that is a Dragon deck. I will go ahead and reset this table real quick. Grab the Dragon deck here. Saved Objects. And I will go ahead and fan this out so you guys can see the deck as it is. I wish I hadn't shuffled it now. Yeah, this is going to take way too long. We'll just do this quickly here. And then I'll use this as a screenshot for the YouTube video and post a screenshot in, well, maybe I'll write it up. Because I haven't playtested it, I don't really want to write it up. But I do want you to kind of see the cards that are in the deck. Man, I love this Adapt. I think he's so good. Oh, there you go. Kind of gives you an idea of what we're running with in our Conflict deck, or in our Dynasty deck. And Conflict deck, well, it depends on what you want to splash. It really does. Okay. And remember to join us at mediocregamers.com. We do a weekly podcast on all things gaming. We are also going to be starting up a LCG podcast later on this week. Keep an eye out there. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/2mediocregamers, Twitter at 2mediocregamers. Give us a like, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see more videos like this. This is something that I figured we'd try building a deck together. If you want to see more things like this, leave a comment and I'll go through the other clans. Thank you and have a great night, guys.